welcome back. I have the absolute pleasure right now of sitting down with SGA President Kenneth Brown Jr., and I'm going to ask him a couple questions.
Cool.
How's it going, Kenneth?
I'm good. How
Thanks
are you?
for coming on tonight. I'm
great.
great.
No problem.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your history with student government?
Yes, so my name is Kenneth Brown Kenneth Brown Jr., according to my mom. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm the oldest of 9. Technically, I'm the oldest. I'm a twin, but my twin sister passed when we were 6 months, and then my youngest sister passed in October, so there's like 9 of us all together, but I happen to be the oldest. I'm a human service studies major, and I've been involved in SGA since my first year. So I ran for first year class president, then I ran for sophomore class president, then I went abroad, and I decided to come back and get back involved.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's it like being the oldest of 9?
You know, it's a lot. It's a lot of noise.
Right.
So
I have one sister, and that's too much
really
for me.
Younger?
Yeah. Older.
Honestly, the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm the oldest, so like I go through everything first. You get in trouble by association, which I'm not a fan of. Like someone could be doing something in the living room, and I'm in the kitchen, and I'm like, I wasn't even there. I mean, like, come on now. But it's good, and it's just nice to have it's nice to have younger siblings to just kind of hang around with, and like to kind of provide advice with, and just to watch them grow and watch them grow up.
Yeah. So why did you decide to run for SGA, and what do you feel has been your greatest accomplishment so far?
Yeah, so when I was going abroad, one of the big decisions that I was thinking about was, what am I going to do when I get back? I was thinking about running for president of another org, but I kind of asked some of my mentors, asked some people I looked up to, and after like consideration and just praying about it and whatnot, I decided to run. One, because I didn't see any future leadership structures within the org. I asked myself the question, like, if I didn't run, who would be the next student body president? Couldn't quite come up with an answer. And also just to have the opportunity to kind of give back to a university that has like opened my eyes and given me so much, and just to begin to like change the culture of leadership on Elon's campus. So one of the greatest things I think I'm proud of is to kind of break down the barriers of leadership in terms of like leadership is about relationships and is about personal interactions. So one of the cool things that I intentionally did was during new student orientation, I was just with first years, engaging with first years, and acting with first years, just to show them that, hey, I'm here with you too, that I'm a senior, so I'm thinking about the big transition coming up. You're first year students, so you're going through the big transition, so we're all going to be in this together.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's it feel like to be the big guy on campus now?
It's a lot of pressure. And one thing in this job is that it's a lot of thinking. So thinking about all the systems and thinking about how what you do affects students now, how it affects students down the line. So that's one thing I was kind of thrown off a little bit by. And also just like having just random people come up and just say, hi, I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, nice to meet you. And like, I wish I knew your name, but it's nice to meet you. So yeah.
That's funny. So what are your plans for the coming year?
Yes, so trying to get more involved in the community, making sure that student government is connecting students to the downtown Burlington, to the Elon community, making sure that we're being better guests of the neighborhoods that we are living in. We're working on some mental health initiatives, so we're working on starting next fall to add the counselor on call number to the back of Phoenix cards. So that way it's like some of the little things that students will realize, hey, this is neat, and if I need a number, I have it. And then working on getting a mental health syllabi statement for syllabi for faculty and staff if they want to add it. And then just some other whatever things may happen, and continuing to get in front of the students, continuing to show students that we're here, come talk to us if you need us, and that we're here for you.
That's great, thank you. I'm excited to see all that come together.
Thank you.
So what's one thing that you might know about Elon that most people who aren't president wouldn't know? A secret or something?
So I have a story.
Okay.
So the school burned down in 1923. And so I did some research. So the school burned down January 18th, 1923. It was like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And there was this guy, so in the old administration building, there was this guy, he lived, I guess, a few yards away, and he was waking up because he worked in the building, and he looked over, and he saw like something spark or something flash, and And he was like, oh, okay. But then he looked closer and saw that it was like a fire. And so like he was like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And so he ran over and he tried to open the door, but because of the pressure, he couldn't open it. So there's this guy just running through old campus, just yelling, fire, fire. And people were like, fire, come on, like what? And then they looked outside and I was like, oh crap, there's a fire. And then that same day they had a meeting to decide like what to do next. And when I looked in the archives, like a newspaper clipping said that they started singing the fight song in that meeting.
Wow.
Yeah, like the entire school just burned down, and they're singing the fight song. I'm like, wow,
that's kind of moving. Yeah.
So yeah.
So what's your favorite Elon tradition?
A favorite Elon tradition, the Elon ball.
Elon ball.
Elon.
Why's that?
So one, because I was one of the key members in terms of planning it and getting it off the ground. So the first year, I was in charge of this survey that we sent out, and it was around this time that we started to think about what it will look like and what it will be like, because we've never done anything like it. And just to see like the amount of students who come out and have fun during the first year, we got some advice or some feedback that said some students met up with people that they haven't seen in 4 years because they were in the same Elon 101 class and they just went their separate ways and they came back together. And so like having that opportunity for students just come together, dance, eat food, and have fun is really neat.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Kenneth, for talking to me.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we're going to be playing a game. You're going to be playing a game with Baylor. So stick around.
Pumped.